Hello, everybody. Welcome to Rapid Fire CEO, the 90-day challenge to your most productive and successful version. Now, what you're in for, you're here now to create a new vision and a game plan to becoming the most productive and successful version of yourself in the next 90 days. You're going to learn new game changer mindsets and personal productivity rituals. And together, we're going to create a new productivity 21-day challenge to becoming the most productive and successful version of ourselves at the end of the hour. Now, before we get started, let's connect on pain because I know what you may be going through, right? I know what it's like to feel like a failure because we are not earning the money, not have the lifestyle that we really like to have, and we're sometimes even struggling to make ends meet. And I know what it's like to go through those feelings. I know what it's like to feel helpless because we're overwhelmed with too many things to do. I know the feeling of feeling frustrated, that we're constantly distracted by the noise of the modern world, such as Facebook, text messaging, and the people who constantly grab our attention. And I know what it's like to feel the pain that we know we have this amazing potential. We know we can make a lot more money. We can help a lot more people. We just know it, but we haven't achieved it yet. And it just drives us crazy. So the promise of this program is if you attend these classes every 2 weeks and play full out the best you can, applying the exercises, you're going to wake up 90 days from today twice as productive and successful as you are right now. And what that means is you will basically get twice as much done and you will have twice as much money at least. Now that's already if you're already productive. So this is a bold promise to make. And how can I make such promises? Well, I can make these promises because I am under the umbrella of this man right here who's looking at you on the screen, Eben Pagan. Eben Pagan, he is my mentor right now. I'm in his coaching program called Virtual CEO course. It's a $5,000 program. And Eben Pagan, at age 26, was only making $10 an hour. He never knew anyone who was wealthy, who never didn't know everyone who's wealthy, and he became a self-made multi-millionaire. Now he did it by creating real valuable products for the lives of others. He didn't just cheat people or create like scam or all those things that a lot of people do. He created it as a result of his honest effort. And how do I know that? It's because I have known him for the past 15 years of my life. I saw him when he created his first book, W Dating, etc. Anyway, so long story short, this is the man who inspired me to create this course. I joined his program right now, and 2 weeks ago, his course started. It's a 6-month course. And I figured I really want to share the things that I'm learning, and I want to share my energy with you so you can also create the amount of success that you desire to have. And by helping you, I can help myself, and I can help everybody else. And of course, another source of this is Napoleon Hill, the author of Principle of Success, who taught a lot of the things to me and Eben together. And he's really the godfather of personal development. Now, I'd like to invite you to remove any distraction that could stop you from paying full attention to this event and become fully present. Right, so what I'm going to get you to do is I'm going to get you to take a chest out back straight, take a deep breath into your nose, and deep breath out your mouth. And again, hold it for a second and then out your mouth. And now we set an intention to become fully present, to become very alert. We close every distraction, every noisemaker, any Facebook pages, so that we can give our full attention for the next 50 minutes in this presentation. Now, in the next 90 days together, what we're going to learn is we're going to learn how to master our personal productivity. We're going to create clear, definite outcomes and goals for ourselves. We're going to create new success rituals to be more productive in our business or our job. We're going to overcome blocks around money and finances. And we're going to create lifetime friendships with other successful entrepreneurs. Now, these are all the benefits that I'm getting from being part of the Virtual CEO course. And as you see, it starts with personal productivity. It goes into our vision and our success goals. And it basically improves all of our relationship and basically helps us to become more wealthy. And what I mean by money blocks, etc., is that I come to realize that many of us have been trained with a lot of wrong mindsets around money, wealth, and what it means. And I'm having really amazing insights around this that I'm really passionate about sharing it, which is going to happen in the next few weeks. The first part of the program, next month, we're really going to focus on personal productivity and basic success routines so that we can take the highest leverage on ourselves. And by the highest leverage, I mean we could focus on different areas of our business. We can focus on our marketing. We can focus on creating products. We can focus on our own relationships, our mastermind. But the highest, according to Eben Pagan, is focusing on ourselves to become more productive. Because when we're more productive and we feel really good, everything we do feels really good. But if you're not really taking care of ourselves first in the morning every day, if you don't feel productive, then everything else feels like a struggle. Now, the value of the program. The reason I created this slide is because I find that for myself, I don't value the things that I haven't paid for or got it for a low price. And every time I pay a lot of money for something, I really use it and make the most out of it. Now, you're already here watching this video, and however much you pay to get this program, it doesn't matter. I want you to imagine yourself, to get the most leverage from yourself, I want you to imagine right now that you wrote a $5,000 check like all Eben Pagan students who paid for this program, and you gave this $5,000 to me to be able to get this value. Imagine yourself writing that $5,000 check, and imagine yourself getting all the results that you want to get. In the previous slide we talked about right here, we're going to master personal productivity, creating outcomes and goals, creating rituals, reaching our goals, doubling our income. Imagine that. And we created a $5,000 payment for this course that has resulted in you making far more money than your investment, right? So by you making this mental imagination that you literally paid for this course, it makes you to listen at a different level. Like for myself, as I said, I just joined this program, and believe me, it was a big investment for me. But now every word that comes out of Eben's mouth, I listen to it like crazy. I listen to it, make notes of it, apply it. I'm playing full out, and I'm determined. And this is the level of commitment required for you to be successful, for us to be successful together. Now, the components of the program. This program has three components. First is this bi-weekly live trainings. Every couple of weeks, we're going to get together here on a live training. I'll have the best knowledge that I can help you with that week. And then we're going to get on a mastermind group on our Facebook page. We're going to collaborate together, reach out to each other, and share our success and our goals together. And we're also going to start with a challenge. And the challenge is a daily habit, which I'm going to talk about in the next slides, that we're going to reach out. We're going to make one single post every day on this Facebook page to share what we're grateful for and what we're going to get done that day. What we're grateful for and what we're going to get done that day. And in my experience, doing this single thing is going to dramatically revolutionize our life, because we're not just going to give our attention to the world, etc. We're going to make promises to each other and use the power of group momentum and enthusiasm to have the highest leverage and create the most amount of value so that we can make more money and become more successful. So these are the three components of the program. Now, why productivity? I already talked about this a little bit, but according to Eben Pagan, we have different areas of our life we can focus on. We can focus on relationships, marketing, product, mastermind, and other areas. And personal productivity is the domino effect that makes the most change in everything else. So if you have, let's say, 8 hours in a day, and we could focus on different areas of our life, the most important is to focus the first hour into making ourselves strong, feel good, and focus on the highest, most important outcomes in our life and business. And the other reason productivity is so important is productivity kills fears and worries. If you're a business owner or like myself, you may experience a lot of fear, doubt, uncertainty, confusion. Sometimes we get lost. We don't know what we're doing. There's too many outcomes in front of us, or that our results are not coming as quickly as we want. But what I find when I get my morning routines down, when I get my personal productivity right, when I know my definite chief aim, my goals on where I'm going, when I know that one thing I got to get done today, and I promise myself to do it, and I reach out to my mastermind, and I just focus on that one thing, when I become productive, I find that all the fears vanish. It's like literally like magic. The first 2-3 days might be a little bit difficult, but once we get into this momentum that Eben talks about, this habit gravity and escape velocity, which is a concept that I'm going to teach you later, we feel so productive. And when we feel productive, we feel courageous, our self-esteem increased, and we just feel on fire. Now, let's get to some quick game changer mindsets. Now, we have different levels of learning. We got the mindset, we got strategies, we got techniques. We're going to talk about techniques in a couple of slides, but first, big picture lenses. Let's put on the big lens of mindsets, because by mastering these mindsets, we will make our productivity automatic. And if we don't understand these mindsets, we basically, no matter how many techniques we try to apply, they will just not stick. All right, so let's get started. First things first, multitasking is a productivity killer. Killer, right? And our willpower is limited. According to Eben Pagan, we only have certain amount of willpower. He talks about how they've done studies in scientific studies, how people were put in various tests and they discovered that by the end of the day, they had no self-control. They would spend impulsively, they would eat junk food, they were not able to do the things that they want to do. And they concluded that our willpower is very limited. So what that means for us is if our willpower is limited, we must use the precious willpower that we do have on the highest leverage activities in our life and business. What do I mean by highest leverage activities? That means our personal health, the daily routine that makes us energetic, healthy, and attractive and productive, and our business success routine, which are routines that we do, such as creating new products, marketing our products, getting it in the hands of others, sales and marketing and product creation. These are the highest leverage. Everything else basically wastes our time. So those are the things. Marketing is a killer. Now, the other principle of productivity mindset game changer too is that we have bad productivity habits. We have bad productivity habits. And we can only change one new habit every month. One of the mistakes that I used to make is I would get so excited about all these courses that I was taking, and I would try to change like 30 different habits at the same time, come up with this elaborate morning routine with like 5,000 different things, write it all down in details, and I would get very disappointed to find out I can't follow it. So to make it very simple for you, stick to one change per month. One simple change per month. You may want to only start, like let's say at the end of the call, you say, okay, for the first 30 minutes of every morning, I'm going to focus on this one activity that brings me the most amount of, success and productivity and happiness. So number three, game changer mindset to productivity. We have much less useful time in a day than we think we do. And the first 2 hours a day is crucial. Now, every day we start our day, we think, okay, well, I have 24 hours. I'm going to probably work for 8 hours or so. And then I'm going to, do this and that. But really, in reality, we don't even have, it doesn't feel like 24 hours. It goes like this, right? So first of all, we sleep for 8, 9 hours. We have to shower, buy food, answer phones, answer emails. All those things take our time away. So the most important things gets left out. And what are the most important things? The most important things is ourselves, to make sure that we do some kind of exercise, make sure that we pause, reflect on where we're going to go in life, make sure that we do our marketing, sales, product creation so that we can create more value for people, so we can make more money, so that we can reach our goals and success. So what happens is we make the illusion in our mind that, oh, I have 8 hours. So we stop wasting time with going on Facebook, messaging people, texting, or going on YouTube and wasting time basically, because we think we have, oh, I have 8 hours. I'm going to take care of that later. But really, with this new mindset, we realize we don't have 8 hours. We really, if you're very honest, we only have maybe 6 hours of honest, good time that we can actually focus on our work. We only have 6 hour window. Okay, if you have a job, if you're working still at a job, then you have even less. If you're self-employed, like most of us are, then you really only have 6 hours of honest, focused work. So that means the first 2 hours of our working time is so crucial. We can't waste it. We can't get tempted to go on Facebook, oh, let me see who messaged me. We can't do that. We can't check our phone, see, oh, let me see what this guy wants from me, because all of these are distractions, right? So we're going to master this in the upcoming weeks, but right now we're just getting the mindsets. And the next mindset is our opportunity to create change in our life is in changing our morning and night routines. And why do I say that? It's because every day we don't know what's going to happen. We come across anything can happen today. Sometimes we plan the day a certain way and something totally different happens. But something happens every single day which is the same. And that is, we always wake up from our bed and we go back to the same bed. So that's pretty cool, right? Because if everything is changing, the only thing that's not changing is our ability to wake up and go to sleep. the same place. So this way, our opportunity to change and becoming more productive is to change our morning routine and our night routine. Now, the morning routine is a game changer because the first 2 hours, it sets the stage for the entire day. If you wake up early, you do your exercise, have a healthy breakfast, and focus on your marketing and productivity goals, by the end of the day, you'll be on fire because you already had a good day. On the other hand, if you wake up late and you just don't exercise, eat crappy food, or have, forget food altogether, and then focus on time-wasted activities such as checking email or wasting time, what happens is later on today, you think to yourself, well, I already ruined the day. I might as well just, have some fun right now, and I'll think about it tomorrow. And basically, we build bad habits. So what we want to focus on is we want to focus on these mindsets. Productivity is a time killer. Willpower is limited. We have to focus on the first 2 hours of the day, and we have to focus on our night routine and our morning routine. Now, why do I bring night routine? Because in my experience, we cannot have a successful morning routine if we don't have a good night routine. And what are the night routines? We're going to go over this again in the upcoming weeks. But for now, I'll just quickly say night routine is basically setting a time that we're going to decide to shut things down, start going to bed, and basically so that we are ready for the next day. Because no matter how disciplined we are to wake up early, if we don't get enough sleep, we're going to feel very bad, and we're not going to be able to do the things we want to do. We won't be productive. So now I want to ask you, what one routine, if you were to do every morning, it would bring you to the next level of success in the next 90 days? What one routine that you've already done in your life, and every time you did it, you felt really good, and you like to do it, but you just have forgotten about it? What is that? Please share that on the chat box right now. I'm going to check it in 1 second. Now, for myself speaking, I used to, wake up every morning, do my morning run every morning for 30 minutes, just thinking about what's really going well in my life. I would ask myself, what can I be grateful for today? What am I going well in my life? And where am I going in life? And for 30 minutes, I would just think about that, nothing else. And I started to create real great success in my life. I started to, become financially free, and I started to make big things happen. But then what happened is I got into a comfort zone, and I kind of set this routine aside. I was like, well, I don't need to do this every day, and I started to struggle. I started to lose some of the success that I created. So then I started to go back again, and it's like going back to this routine again. You feel this oxygen. It's like, oh my God, I can breathe again. And then success comes again. So I want to ask you, what is the one routine, if you were to do every morning, would bring you the most success in the next 90 days? Okay, great. So thank you for sharing that. So good. Now, what we're going to do in this program is I'm going to share some of the routines that I've learned from Eben on personal productivity, but also on success productivity in the real world, such as marketing habits, creating product habits, etc. So I'd like you to just make a note of this right now, and we're going to come back to it in a few minutes. So now let's get started to the most important topic called Deficiency Chief Aim. Now, Deficiency Chief Aim is basically a clear statement of what we value, what we're trying to create, and how we're trying to do it. Okay, and what's so important about this slide that I'm showing with you right now? If we don't understand this concept, and that's according to Napoleon Hill, after studying 500 America's most successful self-made multimillionaires, this principle that I'm about to share is by far the highest leverage that we can get. And if you've already heard me talk about this, please listen to it again, because I feel like it's so important. And if you haven't, just bear with me. So Definite Chief Aim is basically having a clear written vision of where we're going to go, what we're going to get, and how we're going to do it. Because if we can keep this in the front of our mind, not in a vague way, not in a way like, oh, I just want to make more money, or I want to make big things happen. No, but in a clear way. And I'm going to give you some examples. But in a clear way, in front of our mind, when we wake up every morning, it will give us the drive, the energy to put first things first. It gives us the ability to overcome the temptation to get distracted by other things, because we know we are going to bigger and better places. Now, here's why Definite Chief Aim. If you know what you really, really want and what you really, really don't want, you will not need as much self-discipline to do what you really have to do, right? So as you notice, sometimes let's say you have to work on a book. Let's say you're a writer like Shelly is, and you have to work on your book. And you feel like, I should be working on it, but I don't really feel like it. And you have to use self-discipline to sit down and write, right? But what I come to find out is that if I were to take the time and write down and think about what are the areas of my life that I do not want to like deal with anymore. What are the pains that I'm feeling right now that I no longer am willing to go through? And what are the things that I don't want to happen in my life happening? And then focus on what are the things that I do want and the things that I will get. I find myself, it's like a motivation. So to give you an example, I personally have a desire to becoming a multimillionaire by providing value to 21,000 students in the next 3 years. And why do I want that? I wrote down my whys and not wants. And the biggest reason I want, my number one reason, is I don't want to see my parents die and go to the next life, whatever you may call it, by not having seen me becoming really successful. And I don't want to see them basically not experience wealth and prosperity. I want to provide for them. I want to let them know how successful, how good life is to be wealthy. That's what I really want. And I also want to experience what it's like to be young and successful and to make a big difference in the world. And what I don't want is I don't want to be prisoner to not having money. I don't want to feel limited. I don't want to be worried about how much I have to pay for taxes and not have the money. I don't want to be in debt. Right? That's not the thing I don't want. I don't want to see my parents dying. So when I wake up every morning and I think about these, I'm telling you, there is a fire in me. It's unstoppable. It makes me want to read every book. It makes me want to attend every class. It makes me want to take action even though I'm afraid of it. I mean, I wouldn't be getting in this webinar right now if I wasn't so determined, because I know what I want and what I don't want. So that's what I want to ask you. What is it that you want and what is it that you don't want? Make it into a statement and write it down and share it on our Facebook group, which is part of your homework, and I'm going to talk about it. Now, here's an example of my definite chief aim. It is now August 23rd, 2016. I'm so thankful to be earning $20,000 a month by helping 40 students each month to let go of their addictions and becoming more productive and successful. To achieve this, I've been following my daily routine and spending 1 hour on my marketing and product creation each day. There we go. Very crystal clear. And I want to go over the components of this. So it has a date. It's in present tense. It says, I am now earning. And it says, how much am I earning? It says, how I'm going to get there. So I encourage you to right now, take a picture of this if you like, write this down, and then do it as one of your homeworks to write down your definite chief aim. It has to be specific. Why it has to be specific? Because our mind is like Google. You type in Google, you say, you type in, like, let's say Apple, like a picture of an apple, and it goes and finds all these websites and it finds with the picture of an apple. In the same way, our mind is like Google. When we give it what we really want, which is $20,000 a month, 40 students, help them, it goes and finds those and it makes it happen. But if we don't focus on this, then instead our mind focuses on our problems and our worries and what do I have to do if this doesn't work out? What do I do if I can't make my next payment? You know what I mean? So we really gotta, in India, they have this thing where an elephant wants to walk inside the town. An elephant, it uses is thorn, what is it called? Horn, to grab on little things, right? It just keeps touching different things. And, oops. Okay, so as I was saying, in India, they have this thing when they want to walk elephant through the city. And what happens is the elephant makes a big mess. And how they overcome this is they give a bamboo stick to the elephant to hold in his nose. And by holding to that bamboo stick, the elephant stops distracting and kicking everything. So in the same way, if we don't have this definite chief aim in the front of our mind, putting it in front of our nose, so to speak, our mind, like just that elephant, starts picking up on everything that it sees and starts creating more problems and worries for ourselves. So it's like meditation. You don't have to create, you don't have to do anything to start feeling worried. If you just sit in silence for like an hour, you start to notice how many worries and fears and frustration come to you. But therefore, we have to focus our mind on our definite chief aim. Now, we're going to get to the concept of definite chief aim. What I'm about to share with you right now, it has been a game changer for me. It changed my life. It's amazing. I've been getting people who, I shared this on YouTube, have been messaging me about it. There was a guy who was struggling with a lot of addictive behavior. I told him about this concept. He changed his addiction. So many amazing things. My personal training clients, I had people I never knew messaging me, telling me about that, how this changed their life. And what it is that we basically use our willpower on a single high leverage new routine. and we do it for 21 days every day, including Sunday, no matter what. Now, why it's so powerful is because it's short enough that it enables us to say, you know what, I can commit to this. It's not like for the rest of my life, right? But it's long enough to build a habit. Research has been done that 21 days is a critical time that we can build a habit, that by the 21 day, it's just natural for us to continue. In other words, by the end of the 21 day of doing the same routine over and over, it is easier to do the routine again than to stop. So that's why the 21-day challenge is so powerful. And funny enough, it takes 21 days for a chicken to hatch an egg, which is just really, really cool, I think. So 21 days is going to change our life. And what we're going to do is, in order for us to change our habit to become more productive, we're going to use this principle of 21-day challenge. We're going to apply it to our definite chief aim, which we're going to create in this step. And then we're going to share it on our mastermind and get massive momentum as a group. Are you with me? Are you seeing how this is going to be powerful? Can you see this? I hope you say a big yes. Say yes. Awesome. All right, so now I want you to make a commitment. Realize that success happens outside your comfort zone. If the idea of 21 day made you feel a little bit, uncomfortable, be like, oh my God, 21 day, I don't know how it's going to go. I don't want to get on there. No, this is the real thing. Success happens outside our comfort zone, not inside, but outside. So we have to admit to ourselves that our current habits and routines are not working. Listen, if you're on this call right now, and like myself, I joined event program because I'm not at the level of success that I want to be. If you're here right now, you're not making the amount of money, you don't have as much power, you don't have as much influence, and you're not getting to the goals that you really know you want to get to. You know your potential, but you're not there. Why? Because your routines is not working. And we got to be humble enough to say, you know what? These routines are not working. We have to create new routines. We have to be cutting ties with time wasters, and we have to get outside our comfort zone. And that's what Eben teaches. He says, my job here is to make you go out of your comfort zone. So I'm going to make it my job to make you go out of your comfort zone. So now, by committing right now, you will go out of your comfort zone. So I want you to right now take a pause and just realize you're committing yourself for 21 days that every single day you're going to work on your definite chief aim for 1 hour. You're going to come to a Facebook group and you're going to make a declaration of what you're going to do that day and what you did. It's very simple. I'm going to go in details, but you're committing yourself to your definite chief aim for the next 21 days. So here's what I suggest you to do. Instead, because we have our mastermind group on our Facebook page, but I don't want you to get distracted because every time you go on Facebook, you go to the newsfeed page, right? If you go to facebook.com, you go there. So instead, what I'd like you to do, save the group page that we have on your temporary file or on your browser. So this way, with a single click, you can go right to the Rapid Fire CEO Mastermind group. This way, you don't get distracted by the news feed, etc. You don't go into the main Facebook page ever, unless you go at nighttime, not ever, but you don't have to go during the work days because that distracts you. And you don't answer any of the messages that's going to come on the top right. So I'm going to demonstrate how to do that quickly in a second, but I'm going to demonstrate to you how to do that. But right now, basically, I want you to remember, if you don't know how to do this, I'll show you. But basically, we want to make this page as a saved, so you can click on it every day and you can just share. And I'm going to share what you're going to share. So here's what is your homework. Every single day for the next 21 days, you're going to get on this group and you're going to say something like, good morning, here's my report. And this is my report. You can say, I'm so happy and thankful for, and we say, what are we grateful for that day? And then we say, I commit to doing this. So we say what we're thankful for, and we said, what are we committing to do that day? So for me today is I'm so happy. I said something of, I'm so happy to have the ability to use internet to share knowledge and get paid for it. And then I'm committed to presenting a life-changing webinar and creating real value in the lives of others. Have an amazing day. This is my report. So imagine every single day I come in, I post this, and you come in, you post this, and then you go to work on that one thing instead of 10 things. You just focus on one thing, and other people will see your post and get motivation from you. And then eventually we're going to do other groups of mastermind where you're going to have your own group of other people. You're going to talk to them, and bit by bit you get momentum. So let's do the homework summary. I want you to write out a clear 90-day definite chief aim for yourself. I want you to write down, what do you want to get from this 90-day training? What is the outcomes you want? How much money do you want to make? What do you want to create in your business, in your career, in your fitness, whatever area that inspires you, and write it in a clear statement, just the example I showed you. And then I want you to design a successful morning routine. If you already have a success routine, as you said, Shelly, in this call, then I encourage you to create a success work routine. You may say, every day at 9 a.m., I'm going to sit on my desk and I'm going to write for 1 hour. Or every day I'm going to get on the camera and I'm going to create one video for my product, for my business. Whatever that is for you. But set a daily routine, success routine. Why? Because as we said, our willpower is limited, our time is limited, and we can use the power of 21-day challenge to focus on the highest leverage activity. And by the way, what happens after 21 days? We're going to continue to 90 days. So we first only put our mind for 21 days. We kind of trick our mind, so to speak. We say it's only 21 days. And then after the 21 days, we kind of create another challenge. And it says, finish the race, basically, right? But for now, just focus on the next 21 days, every single day, focusing on one thing that you can focus on. And my suggestion is focusing on our health productivity routine. And for me, as I said, is I wake up, meditate, exercise, and then I focus for the first 2 hours on my marketing and product creation. And that's it, without any distraction. I don't check Facebook, I don't check messages. Even if I have a message, I ignore it. I don't answer anybody. I just focus on that thing. And then do your daily report. As I said, you can do your daily report by going to our Facebook page, and you can basically just type in what I just shared in the last event right here. You basically say, good morning, here's my report, da 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 da. And lastly, if you need more help from me, I encourage you to go to seanpai.org/coaching and apply for free for a personal coaching from me. And again, this is not for everyone, but for you. If you feel like you need more help and you want my help to help you, I encourage you to take action on this one. But if not, I will see you 2 weeks from now on the live call just like this one to get the next lesson. I'm going to be learning from Evan the next 2 weeks, and I'm going to be also paying attention to your post on Facebook on how much progress you made. And then I'm going to create the next presentation based on your specific needs to help you become more successful and more productive.